You join me today as we look to try and consolidate ourselves at the top of the Premier League. Plus, we have an FA Cup quarter-final. Can we progress to the semis? Let's go and find out. Hello and welcome to episode 17 of Irons in the Fire as we try and make West Ham good and great again. My name's Mark and on today's episode we have for you two games, the FA Cup quarter-final against Norwich City and then the Premier League match day 30 against Manchester United as we try and consolidate ourselves at the top of the table. We will have a look at the top of the table very, very shortly and what's been going on since you were last with us in order to see what's where we're at and what we need to do in these last 9 games of the Premier League season. If you enjoyed today's episode, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button, leave me a comment, etc, etc, and don't forget our new series is around and about now. I'll need to check my my schedule, but I will check that in just a short while. But before we go any further, there is an outstanding from the last episode, and that is a Europa League draw for the quarterfinals and then the semi-finals. They draw them together. Don't ask me why, but they do. So that's where we're going now. And thank you to Future Mark. Yes, we have 2 draws for you. The quarter-final and then the semi-final. Let's get underway. The first draw is the quarter-final. The final, of course, in Dublin this season. Roma, Ajax, Atletico de Madrid, Liverpool, Marseille, Eindhoven, Leipzig and ourselves in the draw. Let's get it underway. Who's first out? It's going to be Ajax. Ajax, who will they play? They will play Atletico de Madrid. Ajax and Atletico Madrid. Roma are second out. They will play RB Leipzig. A tough match, that one. Who's next out? 4 left still in the pot, including Liverpool. PSV Eindhoven. They will play Marseille. Eindhoven versus Marseille in this match. Liverpool are first out in the 4th match, which means that we will be away first leg, home in the second leg. And let's have a look at the draw for the quarterfinal. Ajax versus Atletico Madrid. Roma versus Leipzig. Eindhoven versus Marseille. And Liverpool are playing West Ham at home first. That's the draw for the quarterfinal then. I'm going to go through and we'll have the draw for the semi-final. And here we are for the draw for the semi-final then. Works in the same way. The only difference is, of course, one or the other will go into the pot. So Roma or Leipzig, Ajax or Atletico Madrid, Liverpool or West Ham, Marseille or PSV Eindhoven. Who's first out? PSV Eindhoven and Marseille. They will play Roma or Leipzig, which means that we have Ajax or Atletico Madrid. The question being is, who will appear first? So they will be away in the first leg. Sorry, home in the first leg. Home in the first leg, Ajax or Atletico Madrid. And they will play Liverpool or West Ham. The draw then for the semi-final. It's Eindhoven or Marseille will play Roma or Leipzig. Ajax or Atletico Madrid will play Liverpool or West Ham. I'll hand you back to Future Mark. Well, thank you to Past Mark. And yes, that is the schedule with the quarterfinals in the 2 legs against Liverpool, away to Anfield first, then back to the London Stadium And we're going to see if we can get past Liverpool in this one. We still have them to play at Anfield, the penultimate game of the season as well. So we've got them 3 times in this run-in. And then, of course, if we can get past Liverpool, we then have that either Ajax or Atletico Madrid for the semi-final. But we won't jump ahead of ourselves first, just the same as we haven't jumped ourselves ahead of the FA Cup quarter-final. There could be an FA Cup semi-final coming along the road as well. Nothing has happened since you were last with us because we played Lens twice, beating them 5-2 on aggregate, 1-1 at their place, 4-1 in the return leg. And that has left us with that quarter-final draw against Liverpool, of course. More about that in the next episode. But just to check on what's been happening at the top of the table, we are still top. 29 games played, 66 points. We're just 1 point clear of Manchester City in second place. And then comes Manchester United, our opponents in the second game of this episode, with 59 points. So we definitely don't want to lose to them, because that gap could close very, very quickly if we were to lose to Manchester United. Then Liverpool in fourth place on 58 points, some 8 points away from us. And then come Tottenham on 56 and Arsenal on 54 in the rest of the European places, with Newcastle and Everton just outside the European places on 49 points. Sheffield, Fulham and Luton Town. Fulham off the bottom now, which is good news for Fulham, but Luton take up that spot in the bottom, but they are still 11 points adrift of safety against Nottingham Forest, so they've still got quite a bit of work to do. Right, let's get on with the episode then. I don't think there's anything else to tell you. It is a game against Norwich City. We haven't played them so far in this save, so no news to tell you. They have Ben Gibson out with a doubtful with a twisted ankle and is not out. We've got 3 players suspended: Zuma, Alvarez and Mavropanos. And Danny Ings is out with a twisted ankle. So let's go and have a look at the side that will face Norwich City in this FA Cup quarter-final. And here is the team that will face Norwich in this Emirates FA Cup quarter-final. If you hear some knocking or some whatever, it's very, very windy outside today, and I think there's something moving around. I'm not quite sure what it is. I've just noticed we've got Trott on the bench. Does that mean that we don't have anybody else because of these suspensions? I'm guessing that we probably don't have anybody else that can go and sit on the bench. Thinking that we might just give a bit of a run out to one of the other players, even if he just sits on the bench. Might put Sean Tarima on the bench just to add to that. Right, Areola in goal then. It's Emerson, Friedel, Kahera and Johnson as our defensive line. Scarles, Ward-Prowse and Souček make up the midfield. Kudos is sat behind Bowen and Watkins today. Frabinski, Kufal, Paqueta, De Thomas, Creswell, Kamada, Benarama, Tarima and Fornells are all on the bench. This is how the two sides face up here at Carrow Road. Norwich in a rich vein of form at the moment, won 4 of their last 5. And we form up as same as we usually do. Norwich playing a 4-2-3-1. Our first highlight of the afternoon. 5 minutes in, it's a Norwich throw-in. We've defended that so far, but still danger ensues. It's a deep one. Souček gets underneath it, but only far as Giannoulis. But Areola sees that over the top. We have a free kick now. Sara deep again, but it is cleared, but only as far as Ujo. Watkins pumps it forward aimlessly, I have to say. Gibbs just keeps that in. He's touched it inside to McLean, but Watkins tackled him, and has that gone for a penalty? It has. No VAR, of course, because we are a championship side, and Liam Gibbs gives us the chance to go one up in the FA Cup. 5th goal of the season for Liam Gibbs, and with 9 minutes on the clock, we're a goal behind at Carrow Road. And Norwich come forward again. I'm just wondering whether we're suffering from a bit of European hangover again. We've been playing, we've had one shot basically, nothing else on target, and they've won that ball back. These 50-50 balls that we're usually so good at. Oh, and just wide from you, Joe. I think it's gone for a corner. It has. Gibbs with the corner. Gibbs, the scorer, chips it in. It's headed clear by Souček, but only as far as you, Joe. Gabriel Sara, and Areola saves that one. It's gone over the top, and all I can say is Norwich are giving us a run for our money at the minute. Sara, it's headed clear by Souček again. Back to Sara, but this time Kudus tidies up. Really not giving us a chance to settle on the ball at all. Still just the one shot we've had. Carrera brings that one down. Looking to build something here. Friedel, Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse comes forward. Emerson, first attack we've seen of any sorts. And Watkins has picked up an injury, I think. Johnson with a throw-in. Watkins has picked up an injury, but we'll try and get him through to half-time. Watkins is out there. He's kept that ball in. Ball comes back to Souček. Ward-Prowse. Emerson puts it away. We're back level. 3rd goal of the season for Emerson on 46 minutes. And it's been a bit against the run of play, I would say. Up until this point, we'd only had 2 shots, none on target. And we've been a bit very, very lackluster in this first half. No more highlights in that first half. Nearly 50 minutes of play. And as you'll see, we have 5 shots, just that one on target from which we scored. 0.72 on the XG. 59% of the possession, though. They've had 13 shots, 7 on target, 2.11. They're unlucky not to be in the lead, to say the least. I think we're very lucky to be on level terms at half-time. So as anticipated, Ollie Watkins has been taken off at half-time. He has a potential lower leg injury. We've replaced him with Raul de Thomas, who comes on alongside Kudus, who we've moved up into that attacking position. Gerard Bowen is dropped to the shadow striker for now. That is our only change at half-time. First highlight comes on 46 minutes. Emerson, Friedel to Souček. Back to Emerson. Gerard Bowen had a bit of a whinge, so we've put him back up front alongside Raul de Thomas and dropped Kudus back into that shadow striker role. We will switch it around if we need to. Scarles, Friedel, Ward-Prowse finds Kudus. Kudus finds Johnson. Johnson comes forward. This is looking positive, and Raul de Thomas, 3rd goal of the season, puts us in front on 47 minutes, straight after half-time, and the team talk at half-time possibly having its effect. As early doors, that ball, and Kudus, I think, may have just played that on. And Norwich City with a corner. It's headed back in. Friedel heads it away. Kudus back in the midfield, but it's not cleared. Emerson is there, but he ran into Frasnot. It's gone out wide. Johnson heads it back to Areola. Good bit of defending there from Ben Johnson. Playing as the right wing back today. Areola forward, looking for Bowen. Bowen's not going to jump for that. Kudus brings it down. Raul de Thomas not quite there, and Norwich City come away again, and we got to be careful. Frasnat is in, and I think it's gone for a corner. It would have been on target. We've encouraged the team. So, and it's headed clear. Souček again. Fredericks with a throw in to Yoiju. Fredericks got away from his marker. And not another penalty. Goodness me. Gibbs put one past Areola in the first half. He's done it again. Sent him the other way this time. And it's his 6th goal of the season. It's 2-2 on 68 minutes. And disappointing. That's 2 penalties. They've not scored from open play. And we have a highlight from kickoff as we start again. Carrera to Johnson. Johnson. Carrera. Ward-Prowse. And he's given that ball away looking for Raul de Thomas. Didn't get through. And Norwich with their tails up. But Raul de Thomas determined to win that, but then loses control of the ball. And Emerson winning that ball. That was very short and it was left for him. Bowen is in. Bowen can't get a shot away. Emerson can though. And he scored in the first half. Skulls has that on. Kudus. Kudus has a shot. It's come back off the woodwork. And it's gone away. Spriggett is out there. And that ball won by Ward-Prowse, but Spriggett still there. And they come forward again. Joe, he's causing us all sorts of problems. And it's brought down. Oh, just wide. I thought that had gone in. And with nearly 70 minutes on the clock, making 2 changes at this junction time, Gerard Bowen has come off. He didn't improve any, despite him having a bit of a grumble at half-time. So he's come off. We've pushed Kudus up into that attack with De Thomas. And Kamada is in as the shadow striker. And the other change that we have made is Thomas Souček. He's tiring and reluctant to take him off because if this goes to extra time or penalties, then we could possibly do with Souček. But he is very, very tired and I don't want to lose him for future games. So he's come off and we've replaced him, as I say, with Kamada. Sorry, not with Kamada, with Lucas Paqueta. Areola with the goal kick. It's a long one. Fired forward looking for Raul de Thomas. We didn't find him. It's gone out wide and Spriggett is going to get there. It's crossed it back into the box and it's gone over the top. Emerson, we've gone attacking. We need to try and do this without extra time if we can. Through to Kamada. Kamada crossed it in the box. Paqueta has gone wide. Kudos and Emerson working. Emerson, lovely ball in to Kamada. I thought Kamada might have had a shot on his own, but Paqueta brings it down, but not on target. And with 85 minutes on the clock, making our final 2 changes, Ben Johnson has come off, and we have replaced him with Vladimir Kufal. And the other change that we've made at this juncture in time is we have taken off Marco Friedel and brought on Aaron Creswell. We have a corner. Ward-Prowse with a corner. Swung in. It's headed over the top, though. I think it's Paqueta got on the end of that. Emerson comes forward now. We are in the first minute of added time. 5 minutes added on. And then it's extra time. And potentially penalties. Well, that's well cut out by Kufal, who's fresh legs. Paqueta, Kamada, Raul de Thomas. It's not going to penalties as it stands. And we go 3-2 up after 91 minutes. We'll see it was possibly cut out here. Kufal telegraphed. Kufal acted very quickly. Paqueta, Kamada, lovely through ball. And Raul de Thomas puts it away for his second of the game. Question of offside. We're going to see it, if I can get it to work. Paqueta. Kamada. No, he's onside. Definitely onside. They have a throw-in. It's in the 3rd minute of added time. But we've won the ball. Kamada looking for Kudos. Kudos not getting there. Phillips defending. And Norwich have the offensive at the minute. And they're coming forwards. Idoa. Is this going to be one of those games? Just wide. Hopefully that could be their last chance, but doesn't look like it. We've got another highlight, and they're on it again. Frasnek to spring it. Idaho can't hit the target. Trying to close the game out here, and we're not having much luck at the minute. Lovely through ball to Spriggett, and if that had been on target, we'd have been in trouble. It is all over though, and we've snuck a win against Norwich City when we are not at our best form. 12 shots. We just had the 3 on target, which were the 3 goals. 2.36 on the XG. They had 21 shots, 11 on target, 3.92. Areola having a great game today in goal. That wasn't our best day, really, was it? We have 55% of the possession against their 45. They can consider themselves unlucky. Player of the match for Raul de Thomas, who come on at half-time in place of Ollie Watkins, who was injured and scored 2 scintillating goals to give us that win and a semi-final draw. Before we have the draw for the semi-final of the FA Cup, just a quick update. Ollie Watkins, he's only out for 1 to 3 days. He was injured being tackled in that game against Norwich City, so he should be back. Whether he'll be back for the Manchester United game, we will have to wait and see. He's okay. He's not going to be a long-term injury, which is good news. The other thing to look at, the overall momentum of that game, and as you'll see, Norwich City really should have beaten us. It was only by virtue of those 2 penalties, and I suppose our defence did a good job apart from those 2 penalties. But they did have the majority of the first half. We only had 10 minutes. We had 15 in the second half, but managed to score goals in and amongst that. So that's what gave us the win. So let's move on to the draw for the semi-final then of the FA Cup. Let's have a quick roundup, if we can, on last quarter-final results. In fact, let's do it this way. It's much neater. As you'll see, Manchester United beating Nottingham Forest by 6 goals to 0 in their quarter-final. A very comprehensive win from them. Liverpool also a comprehensive win over Southampton, 4-0. Aston Villa, it had to go to penalties for them to get past Reading in their match. And, of course, we beat Norwich by 3 goals to 2. So that means that only Premier League sides left in the competition: Manchester United, Liverpool, Aston Villa and West Ham. So let's go and have a look at that draw then. And here we are in the draw room. 2 matches to be drawn, both being played at Wembley, of course. So no home or away advantage. Who's going to play who? First team out, Liverpool. Do we get them again? Quarterfinals of the Europa League? No. It's Liverpool, Manchester United. What a huge match that is in a semi-final. So either Liverpool, Manchester United through to the final, which means that we do have Aston Villa in the second semi-final. And that's... I don't know quite why we've switched over to that way. There must be a reason for it. Whether that means that we have the kit, played them twice, and we've won twice. And not quite sure what that tells us. But that is the draw for the semi-finals of the FA Cup Liverpool versus Manchester United. West Ham versus Aston Villa. Let's go and have a look and see how that fits in the schedule. So that does determine how we go for the next couple of episodes. Everton-Liverpool, an all Merseyside episode. Everton in the Premier League. Liverpool in the first leg of the Europa League quarter-final in the next episode. And then we'll come back for Liverpool in the Europa League quarter-final and Aston Villa in the FA Cup semi-final. That will leave us down then to these final matches of the season. And I'm thinking to myself, we'll have to see how it comes out, because I think we want to feature Manchester City in that run-in, purely because if we can beat Manchester City in that game, I think we pretty much can guarantee ourselves. Well, it depends on what happens between now and then, of course, but we would theoretically guarantee ourselves the title, I would have thought. But we'll see. When we get closer, we'll work out how that's going to do. It might be a three-way game, in which case we'll have to be very strict and very quick on that occasion. Well, no other news to tell you about before this game against Manchester United, our second game of the episode, and we've played them just the once. A 2-2 draw back at the London Stadium on that occasion. Luis Paqueta after 45 minutes from the penalty spot. Garnacho after 65 and Amrabat after 83. Looked like Manchester United were going to beat us, but Said Benrahma had other ideas. 5 minutes into injury time at the end of the game, he got the equaliser. It was a 2-2 draw. Not one of our better days, that one, but that was Kurt Zuma got injured on that occasion as well. Let's hope for better today as we go to Old Trafford. And here is the side that will face Manchester United in this Premier League match day 30. Areola is in goal. Creswell, Mavropanos, Azuma and Kufal make up our defensive line. Carrera, Ward-Prowse and Scarles are in midfield. Alvarez is away on international duty with Mexico. Kamada gets a start ahead of Kudus. Mainly because he played a fantastic game when he came on the other day, and I just want to give him a chance to make a start. Bowen and Thomas start up front. Obviously, that injury to Ollie Watkins leaving him out of today's squad. Frabinski, Emerson, Luis Paqueta, Kudus, Chesters, Fernels, Benrahma, Friedel and Souček make the bench. And this is how the two sides are. They're playing a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder. Just lost one of their last 5 games. We're playing our usual formation. We've also lost one of our last 5, drawn another one. And at Manchester United third on 59 points. We are first on 66. And we have a highlight from kickoff. Raul de Thomas to Kufal. Kufal finds Scarles. Kamada. Ward-Prowse. Over the top. Raul de Thomas. Kufal. Kufal crosses it into the box. It's deep, but Onana is there. Highlight continues. And he's thrown that out to... didn't quite catch it. Fernandes through. Zuma tidies up though. Raul de Thomas. Raul de Thomas goes on a bit of a run. Stops off. Plays it in. But he's caught a deflection. And Amrabat is there. Garnacho. Martial. Got to be careful here. Keep them at bay. Oh, and they've scored. Christian Eriksen. His second goal of the season inside 2 minutes. And Manchester United take a lead. That's what the highlight was from kickoff. Martial getting away. Garnacho and Eriksen sweeping it into the net. Mavropanos didn't come out to him quick enough. Kufal now with a throw-in. Still 3 minutes on the clock. We've lost that. Oh, you're going to have to be careful. We don't want to go 2 down very, very quickly. But Ward-Prowse wins that ball back. Zuma. Scarles to Carrera. Poor ball in the end. But Creswell tracking back. Cutting that one out. Mavropanos. Zuma. Ward-Prowse. Raul de Thomas to Kamada. Kamada puts his first goal for us away. And we are back level after 4 minutes. Drop down and then we've gone back up, I think. Nice put away. Beating Onana. That's what we've brought him in for. As that shadow striker. Question whether he was offside or not. It's pretty level. And a highlight from kickoff. We could be here all night, boys and girls. Out to Anthony. Aramabat. Varane to Martinez. Martinez comes forward. Garnacho. Garnacho's cut inside. But Skulls is there. Trying to keep him at bay. And they're all over us. Oh! And that is Eriksen's second of the game. And we're not 5 minutes old yet. Areola should have had that. And it went underneath Areola. I think we'll see it from behind. And we go 2-1 down after 5 minutes. Just when we thought we got ourselves back on track. Mavropanos again didn't go. Oh no. Mavropanos again didn't get out to him. They have a corner now. Eriksen with the corner. It swung in and they've got a third. Well, I jumped. I thought that had gone in the back of the net. I saw the net ripple, but it clearly wasn't a goal. So there you go. Liverpool gone 1 down at Anfield against Sheffield United. We have a corner here. It's Creswell with the corner. Can we get back on level terms from the corner? Swung in. It's bobbling around. Mavropanos and Bowen. His 17th goal of the season. And the answer to the question I asked a few moments ago was yes. We can. 2-2 and 18 minutes on the clock. It was headed away by Varane, but Mavropanos puts it back in and Bowen through a sea of players. Caught a little deflection as well, I think. And highlight again from kickoff. I don't like this. Why does it do that? Garnacho comes forward. Crosses it, looking for Martial. Martial has Anthony. Anthony has a shot. Oh. I just really don't know what to say. We've literally, from scoring, we've given goals away straight away. We're going to have to tighten ourselves up. This is Anthony. And Areola not getting anywhere near it. Skulls to Ward-Prowse, Mavropanos, Zuma. Skull, that was short to Skulls. And Skulls didn't get there. And Fernandez comes away on this wing. Danger is ensuing. Oh, good curl on that, but it's just over the top. They have a free kick now. Eriksen with the free kick. It's swung in and it's gone over. Half-time arrives. It's 3-2 to Manchester United in what turned out to be a torrid first half. 3 goals inside the first 5 minutes. Eriksen getting 2. Kamada getting us back on terms 2 minutes after they scored. But Eriksen then adding another made it 2-1. But Gerard Bowen got us back level after 18 minutes. But literally a minute later, as was before, from the restart, they come out and scored via Anthony. And we've ended up the half 3-2 down. Need to go and have a word with the boys. First highlight of the second half. 51 minutes on the clock. And it's Manchester United coming forward. But there's a tackle there from Skulls, who's making his way into the side slowly but surely. That put through ball. Kufal cuts it out. Raul de Thomas. Kamada gets Raul de Thomas again picking up. Mavropanos. Creswell just devilled on the ball. Too long. Anthony's inside to Martial. Martial puts it away. He's 12th of the season, and we're 4-2 down. It's not looking good, boys and girls. Are we about to bottle it? And with 52 minutes on the clock, making two changes, Vladimir Kufal, who's a yellow card and tiring, and not playing particularly well, has been replaced by Friedel. Friedel goes into centre of defence. Mavropanos out on the right. And the other change we've made is Tilo Carrera, not having a good day, also tiring, and we've replaced him with Souček. Throw in. Wan-Bissaka with the throw in to Anthony. Wan-Bissaka back to Anthony. Anthony and Craig, lots of space, tried to curl that in and couldn't do it. Another ball, Anthony. Eriksen, it's all Manchester United. We don't seem to be able to thwart this constant throng from them, and they're all over us. And Areola only managing to push that round the post. He's had a poor day as well. Eriksen with a corner on that far side. Swings it in. It's sort of cleared. Garnacho space. He's put it away. 10th goal of the season, and it's 5-2. We're going to get a thrashing here. Took a deflection as well, didn't it? Onana with a goal kick. Varane. Eriksen. Ball forward. Martial. Back to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka to Varane. And we've looked certainly the poor relations here, but Creswell steps into Souček. Friedel. Zuma. Skulls finds Raul de Thomas out to Mavropanos, who's moved out wide, of course. Skulls into the area. He's held up. He's lost the ball, won the ball. Skulls back to Mavropanos. And his 4th goal of the season. Pulls one back. 5-3. What a game this is. And with 63 minutes on the clock, we're making one more change. Ollie Scholes, he's had a good day at the office. Very, very impressed with him today. Lucas Paqueta coming on to replace him. And our final two changes. Chesters comes on in that ball-winning midfielder role. And Kudos comes on for Kamada in the shadow striker role. Still looking for 2 goals, which I don't think we're going to get. And we've got an injury to Mavropanos. And it's all over. I think they shut up shop in the end. 12 shots, 7 on target, 2.19 on the XG, 47% of the possession. Manchester United, 12 shots, 6 on target, 1.39 and 53% of the possession. We've lost that and possibly lost the top of the table as well. And here are the results. The only saving grace is that Manchester City only managed to draw against Brighton, which means that we are only behind them on goal difference. Liverpool losing to Sheffield United 2-1, which is good news because that means that gap stays between us and them. Manchester United, of course, closing the gap now, just 4 points between us and them. In what was effectively a 6-pointer. Nottingham Forest and Chelsea playing out a 0-0 draw. That's pretty much how we end the episode then. We're going to play Brighton and Crystal Palace offline. We're going to come back for a Merseyside duo of Everton in the Premier League match day 33, and our first leg of the Europa League quarter-final in at Anfield. That's where we're going to go with that one. So join me for that if you can. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. That keeps you up to date with all future episodes of Irons in the Fire. And from the bottom to the top, our new series, which will start next Wednesday. Look out for that. Don't forget our other series that finishes up tomorrow. And obviously any other series as we release them. New episodes of Irons in the Fire will be released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m. And the best way of keeping up to date with what's happening on this channel is to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideToo. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It'll be episode 18. It's out on Monday. If you're not watching my other series, and it's the finale tomorrow. It's the last one before we start the new series on Tuesday next week. Don't forget to join me for that. Have yourselves a good weekend.